Hi, welcome back. It's good to see you, as always. Today, I am grateful for sunshine because I live in Minnesota and we've been having blizzards up until last week, and today the weather is very beautiful. In the 50s, well, barely 50, but sunny. And so I am basking in that light, and I hope that you all have had a good week. I hope that it's been uplifting like mine has been for the most part. And if it hasn't been, I hope that you can at least remember a few instances, even if it was a few seconds of that feeling of hopefulness and being uplifted. I know that sometimes we are at that point where it's brief little glimpses of normalcy or brief little glimpses of joy or happiness, and that sometimes trying to enter into that experience is like trying to grasp smoke. You try to grasp it, and there's nothing to grasp. You know that it's there, and you know that it's real. But when you try to possess it in some way, or interact with it, or have it, it becomes non-existent. It disappears. It dissipates. That is a very common experience with mental illness, with chronic depression, with anxiety disorders, with panic disorders. And when it comes to insomnia, that's how sleep can feel oftentimes. We can feel like we're just on the edge of sleep, and it just gets taken away. It disappears. It can't be had. And that feeling is suffering. That is a very challenging experience. So today I wanted to bring up that experience and pour some light on it, shed some light on it, so that we can look at it and acknowledge it and start working through it. When we can't access happiness, when we can't enter into the experience of joy, when we see it there and we see our friends laughing and being carefree and experiencing life and not worrying, and we can almost get there, and maybe we get there for like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, a minute, and then it goes and it's fleeting. Today, I just want to work on celebrating those moments, even if they are 2 seconds, 10 seconds, a minute. It doesn't matter. They still happened. They're still real. And a big part of living with mental illness is taking very small steps. Today, it might be a 2-second window where you feel that. Joy, happiness, comfort, safety. But tomorrow, maybe it'll be 10 seconds. And if we work toward mindfulness and taking care of ourselves, we will have longer periods of time where we feel safe and joyful. The It doesn't mean that we're always going to feel safe and joyful. Nobody does. But those periods will get longer. And even if there are dips where we make progress and then we feel like we're going back, you're always making progress. If you're here, you're making progress, even if it was a hard week. So today, like always, I just want you to be relaxed. All you have to do is relax. And I'm going to do some work. You can think about what we just talked about, or you can envision your light, your color, your safe place, your sanctuary. Whatever puts you in the state of mind to be relaxed and passive so that I can get the work done. Always keep in mind that some thought patterns are very hard, very difficult to undo. And I want you to be gracious with yourself. Look up the definition of grace and really take time to ask yourself what that looks like. How can you be gracious to yourself with the understanding that some of these struggles are incredibly challenging? They have to do with brain chemistry, genetics, heredity, environment, exposure to trauma, things that are outside of our control, and things that are very powerful and significant. And with that in mind, give yourself grace as you strive to make progress and as you strive to think differently, as you strive to be at peace with your own thoughts. Know that what you're doing is difficult. So it is reasonable to expect challenges, setbacks, perhaps progress that is slower than you would want or expect or wish for. That's okay. If you were training for a marathon, you would expect that to be very difficult. Everyone around you would expect that to be difficult. Sometimes people don't understand how difficult it is. And sometimes those people around you need grace too. But for now, I want you to focus on giving yourself grace. Really reflect on the accomplishment or accomplishments that you have made, perhaps in the last day, last week, last month. What have you done to help yourself? What have you done to take care of yourself? Really measure and evaluate and focus on even the tiniest things. No gesture is too small. No accomplishment is too small or minor. Consider how oftentimes we can focus and ruminate on very minor negative thoughts and feelings. We can take them and make them very big and very significant to the point that they are affecting our lives. We can take fears of very unlikely, insignificant events and things. So if we have that kind of power in our mind to affect ourselves so greatly with negative things that are perhaps insignificant, or rather small. Imagine if we harnessed that power to affect ourselves. Imagine if we harnessed that and used it with positive things. What if we ruminated on that? Consider that and try to make it an exercise. And it takes a while to build up those muscles. Just like it takes a while for the brain to get into anxiety cycles, and for those cycles to take full effect, it takes a while to build up those muscles of thinking positively. But it is worth that work. It is very good work and productive work. As I wind down my session here, I know that we've talked about a few different things today, but I just want you to take one thing from this video and this conversation and perhaps try to implement it. One small thing. Different people will take away different thoughts, and that's okay. Take what works for you and leave the rest. And just know that by sitting here today and doing something that helped you to have peace of mind and a sense of calm and stillness is taking care of yourself, and you are making progress, and you are doing a great job. And I look forward to seeing you next week. I hope you have a wonderful week. See you then.